catch. Good, because I didn't like that beginning anyway. Welcome on to the Rich and Gordito podcast. It is Tuesday, June 2nd, episode 70 of the Original Gordito podcast. Glad you made it. For those of you that are new, we like to start you off with a little vinyl vibe from my own personal collection. This is off the Chicago, 4, 5, 6 album or something like that. And it is What's the World Coming To?
So when did this song come out?
This song?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
this album?
I don't know. In the 70s sometime? Why?
I just think it's appropriate. No. I just think it's appropriate with, what's going on.
Sure.
Today.
Well, that's.
I know that's your purpose.
The whole
I know.
Point of the vinyl vibe. Sometimes to say something without saying it.
So I was just curious the year that they, did the album. That's
in the 70s. But if anything, let this be a reminder. This is, without harping on it, because I don't want to go into it. I went back and forth today.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I would love to talk about it as much as everybody else, one of the things I pride myself on is not doing the hot issue,
right?
Because I see it as a lot of people. I think sometimes it serves two purposes, because it draws attention to what you're saying, and because you're commenting on the same shit that everybody else is commenting on,
right?
And it's almost self-defeating. It takes out the altruism over what you're saying.
Well, and sometimes, I think, sorry,
because sometimes I think people just say it because it's
what's happening,
right?
Yeah. And seeing, like, for me, just like movies and shows, podcasts are like an escape. So I don't necessarily want to hear about everything that's going on in the news. And
you're going to hear about it on every other one. And it's the same thing. But at the same time, another cornerstone of what I want this show to be is I look at originality as something as being also real, right? So when I say original, I'm not talking about being the first. I'm talking about being the truest. Because if you're true to yourself, and we are all individuals and we are unique, then originality comes naturally, right?
Yeah.
It's when we're trying to look or sound or act or speak like somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is easy. And we all at some point when we were kids, we lived our lives. We start off in everything emulating.
Right.
But at some point we got to find our own voice and stop just following what the crowd wants us to say. Of course, it's Blackout Tuesday, so the whole thing is not to post anything self-related on social media.
Oh, really?
Right. In fact, yeah, but that was the whole concept. And like any concept, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, I get it. I think some people confuse posting on social media with actual activism.
Okay.
It's nice. To me, it's just letting people know where you stand on a situation.
Yeah. I get it.
It's what it is. It is whatever it is, and that's all I'm gonna say about it, really, because there's nothing. What else is there to say about it? This is not a good time for logical people.
Okay.
Check on your logical friends. They're not all right now. Because as someone that I pride myself in being able to see the both sides of a situation.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the incident itself. That I believe it is 100% cut and dry. I'm talking about the protests and the riots. No one wants that, but also it's not without understanding that this is first you ask for your rights and then you take them.
Right.
And it's not new. It's not a new conversation,
Mhm.
right? The idea of civil disobedience,
Right.
and there's a lot of thought on it,
Mm-hmm.
from everywhere, anyone from Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela to extremes like Malcolm X,
Mm-hmm.
and they all had good points.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean by logical. A logical person can look at an argument and say, okay, that's not completely wrong. You can see the personal biases, and right now we're living in a time of extremes.
Yes, we are.
Where no, you gotta pick a side. You gotta feel one way or the other about this, and you gotta let us know. Well, no, you're allowed to have mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Logical person, I'm telling you right now, you're allowed. And I had to tell myself at some point, you're allowed to feel different ways about what's going on.
Sure.
In the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let the virtue signaling that goes on social media tell you different.
Mm-hmm.
Just be true to what it is. And I like when people do let their biases and their opinions come out, because they did you a favor, right? Because back in the day, you could be living next to the most evilest, racist, hate-filled person in the world, and you wouldn't even know it.
Wouldn't have a clue.
Right? So now through social media, people do the job for, if you really don't want to associate with those type of people,
Mm-hmm.
they do you the favor of letting you know by the shit they share and post and think is hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, true colors come out for sure.
Sure. So they just instead of getting angry, just say, hey, that person did me a favor, because now I know where they lie on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, for those of us logical, we're just sitting here like, y'all are both kind of nuts.
Yeah, just so extreme.
But it is what it is. All right.
But that Blackout Tuesday is interesting. Like, I don't get on social media.
You've been off social media.
Yeah, I don't get
so
on
you
it.
didn't know. When I put that on the board that we were going to talk about it just briefly, I put there briefly, so we're done.
Yeah.
All right, those of you that tuned out, come back.
Yeah.
Get off my little soapbox.
Yeah, that's why I don't do social media. Limit. I don't do.
You've been good job of staying off.
Like, it's just not
because
worth it for me.
It does trick you into thinking like you have to take a
stance.
Whatever. Not even a stance. I'm not saying a stance, because I'm fine with taking a stance. But that if you don't agree 100% with what the side that you picked, then you're not somehow not fully supportive,
right?
Yeah.
I just know my anxiety was through the roof and Facebook and Insta, and
I advise
not worth it.
Everyone to stay. I mean, I've already lived my life where I try not to be on there longer than I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. You can look at it in a way that it's self-centered or whatever. I try not to look at anybody else's shit. I try to get on there, post my stuff, and get the fuck off.
Yeah, I get the notifications that you tagged me in something, so I go and just reshare it, and then I get off.
Yeah. Just because I don't even see half the time I don't even see the people's stuff that I want to see.
That is so true.
I don't when I do occasionally scroll through my newsfeed, I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I don't know these people in real life.
It's so weird. Yeah, you have to go actually search for someone you want to see whatever they're talking about. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, beyond like a couple people that are just I see my cousin, one of my cousins post all the time. Mm-hmm. Somehow I get notified of her posts. I don't even know when I selected that. But that's the only way you can do it.
That's funny.
I did a return to the live comedy in person.
Yes.
In the flesh.
Because you've still been doing comedy.
And I don't think this. I think this gig came along. I was telling y'all that my return was going to be June 6th.
Mm-hmm.
I say, "How? What happened?" You said June 6th. I got moved up a week because I got a call or a message. What was it? Maybe Thursday morning.
Yeah.
From someone wanting me for a private gig.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave them my quote. They agreed.
Mm-hmm.
They even paid the full amount up front. I only asked for a deposit.
Right.
They paid the full amount up front. And then my dumbass finally asked, "Hey, what's the event? What's going on?
What's the occasion?
What's the occasion? What are we celebrating?" I didn't. I'm glad I didn't say celebrating. I did. I went back to say, "What's the occasion?" Because as it turns out,
Mm-hmm.
it was for a memorial,
Mm-hmm.
not like an anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
A memorial. This woman contacted me. Her father had passed away back in April.
Right.
And according to her explanation was that he was a very lively, very humorous man. He was always joking
Mm-hmm.
and having a good time. And she didn't want his memorial to be a sad event. She wanted people to have fun.
Yeah.
And laugh as if he was there, because he is.
To celebrate.
Right, to celebrate his life.
Right.
Rather than mourn his loss.
Right.
And a lot of people say that.
Mm-hmm.
We all say that. I want, when it comes down to it, to expect your family to really go through with that is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I
Because they're
know.
grieving.
I went through a situation where my best friend wanted that,
Mm-hmm.
and I when it came down to it, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do,
Mm-hmm.
was to get up there and make jokes about my friend dying.
Yeah.
But that's what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he wanted, and that it's hard. So I knew where she was coming from.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's not one or the other. You're allowed to have mixed emotions about things. You're not wrong. You're not bad. You're not indecisive. You're not a coward, right? And she was saying that she wanted to do this. She that her mom's still having a really hard time, but she wanted to hire a comedian or some comedians. So I took the gig.
Yeah.
Big Al Gonzalez. We had both been referred by Steve Trevino.
Mm-hmm.
And very thankful for that. Ended up taking Danielle Torres with me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wow, my first show back after my longest break from comedy, almost 3 months off of the stage, is going to be a funeral. Mm-hmm. For all intents and purposes. Mm-hmm. Was just, every kind of awkwardness you could imagine.
Yeah.
And we got there, and of course, one of those Murphy's Law situations took place where everything that could go wrong went wrong. Mm-hmm. I had a Zoom show scheduled, mm-hmm. so I was going to be rushed. I was going to have to leave and excuse myself right after I was done.
Right. So you can come to the Zoom.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it was starting late.
Yeah.
They were still decorating when I got there.
Oh, no.
So it was going to start late. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then the woman that hired said that she, Dad was very, like I said, humorous. He didn't pull no punches, and nothing was off limits for him.
Nice.
So, go.
Yeah.
Go for it. Don't worry about the language. Carte blanche. Do you, boo boo.
Mm-hmm. So did you do you?
And then as people started arriving, we noticed there's not just like a couple kids here. Like there's a lot of kids here of all age groups and sizes. Which always, even though someone tells you, I don't care if there's kids here, I want a dirty show. If you go too dirty, people feel uncomfortable laughing
Because
at that stuff because of the kids.
Yeah.
Right. So you gotta gauge somewhere between. Okay, I was asked to do an adult show. There's kids here. I still want people to laugh. I still want people to be comfortable.
You have to toe the line.
Laughing at this stuff. So you got to toe a line. Exactly. So there's 3 comics going up. I'm of course the last one. Some people there. Not everyone, knew what to expect. A celebration of life. That can mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
Most people's minds, they're not expecting to see a comedian get up there and tell jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I would think like maybe like music, like someone getting up to play something.
Right.
Or comedy wouldn't have been my first.
Right, but she wanted comedy, she wanted dancing, she wanted drinking.
I mean, that's cool. I'm down. That sounds great. Like she was ready to celebrate. That's great.
She was down to celebrate. He was a Cuban gentleman, so his wife made some Cuban food. Some of his favorite Cuban food, some papa con carne and some arroz and black beans and some yuca. And some plantains, and it was good. It was good food.
Nice.
And how do I know it was good food? Because in the middle of my set, at the beginning of my set, they came up to announce that the food was going to be served. But first, if you don't mind, of course I don't. It's your dad's memorial. What am I going to say? No. Like,
So wait, you were like right in the middle of a joke, like in the middle, like
yeah. By the time I got up on stage, well, one I can get up on the stage because they had a bunch of flowers around the stage, and I didn't want to like jump over the flowers and bust my ass and then ruin the flowers. So I was like, I'm gonna stay on the floor. And the good thing is, when I sat on the floor, all the kids had made a little front row because everyone else was at tables back in the room. They made a little front row right there in front of me. Crisscross applesauce style. Oh, did I forget that there was a baby in a stroller? And not a stroller, a walker. Because they just had a 4-month-old baby. So the baby was in a walker. All the other kids were sitting there. Every time I said a cuss word, or any of the comics said a cuss word, there was one kid self-policing. And he would shout out at you, "I'm a kid!" Every time I said fuck. And then and only then did the woman come up and say, "Hi, sorry to interrupt." Of course, no problem. I'm a professional. I'm dealing with all this. She goes, "But it's time to serve the food. And we got to pray. So if you don't mind giving the mic over here, some between your dick jokes, we can bow our heads and pray." Seems like a reasonable request. Let's do that.
Oh, man.
So after the guy's done praying, I go back to educating these young children in front of me. A story time with Uncle Javi. Continued as then the family started passing. Now that was helpful, right? Because they didn't do a food line, so not everyone got up all at once. They actually brought everybody their plates to the table. So that was good.
Yeah.
But then everyone was eating. Like, so there was like 10 minutes of like where people can't really laugh when they're eating. They don't like, they might choke. You know. But I closed strong.
You pushed through.
So honestly though, it was beautiful to see. They started dancing right after. The man loved to dance too, and just a lot of love. You could tell that he he was a man that loved a lot and was loved a lot. And
Awesome.
rest in peace, Mr. Carlos Marin, from Alice, Texas. It was, you know,
That's
it was a pleasure that I, by whatever movement in the universe that stars aligned that I didn't get to know you, but I got to perform at his memorial service. And so, like I told his daughter, I was like, I'm definitely never gonna forget your father. My first show back, it was like starting over again. I was already on wobbly legs. It's my first show back.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna go wrong? Where's my timing gonna be at?
Yeah.
And then for all these little tacks to get thrown just in my way, little marbles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. I was like, you know what? I was telling Danielle on the way back, I'm glad it went this way because I didn't have time to think about being rusty.
Okay.
Because there was so much being thrown at me. I was like, okay, how do I overcome? Because that's what it is in comedy. That's why you practice the material. That's why you learn the material so much, because you never know what's going to go on in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to happen. Something's going to throw you off. The mic's going to go off. You're going to have to pull an audible and adjust and use the tools that you developed through years of being a comedian on how am I going to pull myself out of this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I didn't have time to think about the rust. I just only had time to okay,
let's do this.
This kid, okay, I'm gonna have to tone down the language because this kid's stop. I made him part of the joke a little bit. I did some stuff about kids,
mm-hmm.
And it was good. It ended up being a good performance, and now I'm not so
rusty.
Or I feel like okay, I had to use every muscle. I feel like I've kicked a lot of the rust off, but who knows? I mean, I think that's gonna be a common occurrence for the next, at least probably the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna find myself performing in a lot of new situations,
mm-hmm.
which I think is going to be to my benefit because I've always been the kind of comic that I never shied away from anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've done funerals before. I've done nursing homes and all. I never shied away from doing a weird gig under unusual circumstances.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna be asked to do a lot of different stuff. In fact, just prior to maybe an hour or two before this, I've told you my first public show back is going to be June 12th. I got one more private gig this weekend, and then I will be back on the public stage June 12th in Pflugerville at the Spirit of Tejas.
Mm-hmm.
But just before this, I got added the next night. They were going to try to get me to drive to Nashville. They were like, oh, that's Father's Day. Never mind. We don't want to make you do that. They're like, never mind. June 13th in Austin. I was like, well, that's a little bit of a better drive. It's actually on the way back. I said, you want to do a gig in Austin on the 13th? I said, sure. Why not? He goes, it's a drive-in. So I will be doing a comedy at a drive-in movie theater.
Wow.
In Austin.
I didn't realize it was a movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do drive-in movies.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah, it's a mini drive. It's actually called the Blue Starlight Mini Urban Drive-In. It's the most Austin name you can. You have enough adjectives?
I was going to say, that's a long name.
In there?
Well, that's cool though. That's going to be different.
Yeah, so that's going to be different, right? Outdoor comedy is going to be a thing, which I've done a number of times. So I'm not. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's like that. I feel like in a way I've been preparing for this my whole career, not knowing.
Uh-huh.
Like the Zoom shows too. Like just okay, you have to adapt. That's the biggest ability for any comic is can you adapt to the changes, right? The new mediums, the new sensitivities, can you, and your ability to read the room and react.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, got that to to look forward to.
And then when you came home that night from that show.
I had a Zoom show.
Yeah.
And someone fell asleep.
That's what I was going to say.
I was late to the Zoom show. I was closing out the Zoom show. So I was running late. They had to hold over for me a little bit. And I had noticed that the lady was already beforehand kind of like kept like dropping her head. She was kind of like spaced out of the conversation. And then as I'm doing the show, they spotlight her on the Zoom, and she is just completely just chin on chest, knocked out. There's a walker behind her. And I'm like, oh Lord. I mean, the show was going good, so I know it was not that. I mean, as I told them, I was like, you know, I literally just came from doing a funeral show, so hands down, y'all are my liveliest audience, right? But yeah,
that was funny.
And then that, so I got myself a good little. I was like, I'm gonna put that on my next flyer. So I'll have to like blur out her face or something. But yeah. That's gonna be the cover of my album. That's my new album art. Oh man,
that's funny.
But it was a good weekend. Like I said, my return to comedy, I felt it was good because I liked that I had the two shows back to back. Because that's not an uncommon thing for me,
right?
Like that, to be rushing from one thing to another.
Yeah.
So it felt like I'm back in it. I'm doing the thing. Except it was like, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like because I had one real show and one virtual show.
Yeah.
You know, they're still trying to get me to do the virtual reality show, and I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. I don't know. I'd like to try it, but you know, but I had mixed emotions about the Zoom thing too. So
sure.
So, but I need to get a better headset that has like remote controls and stuff. So it's a matter of I'll invest in it and I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I would like it. I want to do it when they can like see me. I want like sensors like all over my face.
Like you're gonna have a whole bodysuit with sensors,
like that. With a bodysuit too, so you can actually like see my facial movement. Like I need like little diodes like all over my cheeks, so you can see my cheeks moving and get my facial expressions, because that's so much of comedy, right? On Zoom they could see it on the camera, but in virtual reality, like, no man, I want the fucking lawnmower man, bro. Like, let's fucking do this. Fucking what was the other one with Russell Crowe?
I have no idea.
Where he was like the VR guy. You don't know?
Babe, I don't know movies. I don't know the names of movies. I don't know the people who star in movies. As long as you've known me, I don't know how you forget that.
It's gonna kill me if I don't if I don't figure out Russell Crowe. It's Virtuosity? Virtuosity.
What was that about?
Huh?
What was that about?
A former cop who has been in prison for murdering the psychopath who killed his family, Parker Barnes, is recruited to test out a new virtual reality program, whereas the goal is to apprehend a computer-generated being called Sid 6.7, played by Russell Crowe, who has been modeled on hundreds of deranged criminals. When Sid manages to escape into the real world, Barnes must capture or destroy him before the soulless entity can go on a killing spree. I think back in the 90s.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want it like that level. Like,
I don't know that we're at that level
like
yet.
I want to look like Tom Hanks in Polar Express. You know, like, remember when that was like new technology and they're like, oh, we actually, like, to his face, so you can act, it's animated, but it's Tom Hanks acting it. Yeah. Then I'll do virtual.
Then and only then.
Comedy. But then I'm gonna want them to like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon me, like put me on like on a fly on a crane. Cause then I could do all sorts of jokes. I could do a joke where I like fly across the room, like green screen with like I got the little ping pong balls. You never see that when they do the video games, the little ping pong ball sensors. I'm just. The possibilities would be endless, babe, of what I can do in a virtual comedy club. I could do so many act outs.
Babe, so all that's going to happen in our living room?
I mean, I'm just going to have to like green screen the living room. Like we can get the chroma paint and it should become a virtual comedy club. And here, what do you think? I'll YouTube it. It'll be good. That's what I've been doing in my training, by the way. Still in the training. I've been sitting here, YouTubing. I've gotten to the point where I'm YouTubing DIY home decor, home renovation shit.
And then you send it to me, and you're like, "Babe,
I can do this." Like that, and look, they only took them like 10 minutes on the video.
I watched that one video and the wife was like, "We've been fighting like cats and dogs all day and almost killed each other." And you were like, "It's just 10 minutes."
But in the video, they mean like, "Hey, you did this, then you did that." Okay, yeah, I can do that. That's all them doing. And then you hold the thing. Put the glue. Okay. Get the fucking nails. Yeah. Looks just like theirs. Looks just like that. I watched a lady screen in a patio. But she actually framed out her patio because she didn't have anything. So she made it look like little Martha Stewart,
like a
little lady.
Cake.
She had her little denim gardening jacket with the sleeves rolled up. Because then I rented this impact nail gun. You can get it for $25, and then you see, it's that simple. She wasn't even sweating. Oh, she mean, like, what was that? Like, what did that take her? Like an hour? She mean, and then I just tap it in. And she did it right there on camera. It didn't take her. I saw her do it. It didn't take her that long.
Well, wait. If she had a nail gun, what was she tapping?
Oh, because she had the 2x4s to frame it out, and she's like, "Just tap it in." Okay. And then she goes in the gun. Well, the gun does the work. You're not even doing shit. Just gotta hold it. So
she did like one of those nets.
And then you screen it in. You gotta buy the system. Mm-hmm. She said she screened in her whole patio for under $350.
Nice.
And so,
that's your next project.
Well, I'm sitting here, right? Because I was sitting here still waiting for people to fucking log in.
That is so crazy.
I started going down the rabbit hole. Well, it started off that I was thinking about doing something for our little backdrop here.
Right.
Since now we're getting up the video consistently, we want to keep our update our set.
Sure.
We're coming up. Maybe something for episode 100.
Okay.
We'll debut the new set. That gives me time, just in case it takes longer than the 10 minutes on YouTube. Just in case.
I guarantee
it's the same thing though. But people say that all the time. The same thing with like the you can fix your car thing. Mechanics have made so much money off of dumbasses watching those things and then trying to do it
like pull the dents out.
or whatever. No, like I'm talking about like actual under the hood stuff. But some of that
I would
stuff.
never try that.
But sometimes, if you have some mechanical ability, I mean, they are helpful. I was able to fix the door handle on my car.
Oh yeah.
I was able to replace that by watching a couple YouTube videos.
Yeah, you did.
But you really got to spend the time, and you can't just like watch it once. Like you got to watch a couple of different ones and kind of figure out what you got and already know, I guess, some basics. I'm not like super handy, but same thing like with cooking. If you already know how to cook, YouTube videos are great. You're not gonna learn how to cook watching a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? You really you already have to have. So those DIY videos, I think they're really meant for, you should already have some knowledge of basic construction and, shit like that. Like, you should know what a fucking stud is and like why you need to find why would I need? So not you're gonna make a big old mess.
That's true.
I think I can. I think we want not to give. No, I'm not gonna give it away.
Yeah, don't say it.
I'm gonna give it away because I might change my mind. I might do something else. We might turn this into a virtual comedy club. I don't know. Those of y'all that are just listening, y'all like, I still haven't seen what the fuck y'all are talking about. Like, I don't know what set you're talking about. Some people, I'm sure, just listen on iTunes, where you should leave us a review, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
If you haven't done so already. You might listen to us on Spotify, which is one of our sponsors. Thank you very much. Or you can listen to us on Anchor, which is the home, the source, the lifeblood of the engine that makes the original Gordito podcast run.
So lots of options.
Yeah. And plus many more. We still got stickers.
Yes.
Reach out to us to that.
With someone else.
Shout out to Chrissy Hernandez for coming through with a nice little donation. She'll be getting her little care package there. Shout out to the Padrino de Podcast, Albert.
Yes.
Albert hooked us up. Got our lawnmower running tip top Magoo.
Yeah.
I let my our friend that does our lawn came over, and I let his son comes and helps, and he was out there struggling with theirs, so he got to use it. So it's running fucking great. Yay. Man. Thank you so much.
And didn't he say how easy it was? He was like,
because it was a pretty nice. It was your lawnmower. You had just left gas in it. It was already not running by the time I came around.
Yeah, because I think I used it once and that was
it. But you spared no expense. It's a nice little self-propelling.
Because I really
lawnmower,
thought
and
I
used
was
it how many times?
Like probably once. I really thought I was gonna mow my grass every week.
You moved into the house.
Yes.
You got yourself a little toolkit.
I did. Well, the toolkit was stupid, but my lawnmower I made sure was good. And yeah, I think I mowed once. I think my mom helped me once to show me how to do it because I had no idea.
You never mowed grass.
I'd never mowed grass before. And so then I did it once on my own and then I didn't do it again. Yeah. No. And then I just let it sit. I know someone told me I had to get it cleaned at a certain time. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I never did. So I fucked it up. Yeah. So it's just been sitting in the garage. So
it's in there and he got it running, like cleaned it up all beautiful and running tip top Magoo. So
we're going to use it after all this rain.
So now I kind of don't have like an excuse to anymore. So I was all like, oh, but I'm in the yard guy. He'll come. The lawnmower, it's not working. Or I would totally get out there and do it. I haven't found the right YouTube video yet to show me how to fix it.
You still gotta do some research.
Still doing the research. Still looking it up. I found a 13-minute one, but I really want to find a 10-minute one.
Oh, you're so silly.
So, but the good thing is, I do have a 13-year-old that's conserving all sorts of energy because he doesn't leave that room.
I know.
So just store all that energy, son, up, and then on Saturday. We go bond outside and sweat our asses off because it's summer in South Texas.
Oh, it's so hot.
And so now you need your yard cut every week because it rains.
Mm.
Like you're not even cutting. Like we're not even cutting grass so it looks nice anymore. It's just like, hey, we don't cut it now. It's gonna be ridiculous next week because it's gonna rain all week.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, I was like, even last week, I told you, I was like, tell the guy to come cut it because it's going to rain and then it's going to be really high. It's already high. It's going to be even higher.
I know, because it rained before and it had just been 2 weeks because we figured it out and it was like super high because of all that rain.
Yeah, it looked like we hadn't cut it in like over a month.
Yeah, it looked horrible and it had only been 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's raining. As good as it is, it sucks with the grass having to be cut all the time. So,
but we had a good weekend. I ended up yesterday. One of my aunts came over to see Lindsay
on Sunday.
To see the kids. They hadn't came, so we ended up having Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
I made some homemade carne guisada.
Oh my god.
Made some rice.
Yes, you did.
Some beans. Yes. Some tortillas. A mano.
So good.
Well, I'm gonna change my name to Concha. Shit, wifey material right here.
Yeah, you are. Oh my god, that meal was so good, babe.
I was cooking dinner like I was trying to get my green card and shit.
You were like throwing down hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Wait, is that like a? So like that was my tortilla hands.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it like was I in a fucking step team? You see, HBCUs. That's where they got it from. That stepping. I just wanted it to be known y'all stole that from the Tortillera. I'm gonna let y'all have your. Always talking about people stealing shit from y'all. You ever see a step team? That's Tortillera right there. That's doing the tortilla.
Okay, but that's the tortilla, right? Mm-hmm. Your step team was all kinds of stuff. So the step team added to it.
Because I saw my grandma one time. She was doing it, and then like a mosquito bit her. So she did, but she kept. And then there was like a roach. Getting yellow. You know I could stomp, did you, girl? Some Mexican shit.
Holy shit.
Gotta give me time. I'll get it. I know we started off like a little dark. We get you where you're going, man.
That was fucking funny.
I even moved too fast for the camera. It's all blurry and shit. Like, whoa, slow down. We only got 30 frames per second. Calm down. Not supposed to be moving that much. Fucking flash and shit. You can check. You can see. For those of y'all that just listen, you can go and still watch. You can do both. YouTube.com/Universal Comedy.
Oh my god, you have to go watch that. That was the best.
For those of y'all that are listening, all y'all heard were like, whoa, wait a minute. This got like R-rated? Like, what's all that? What is all that slapping? I listen to this with my children.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
I mean, I hope not, but I know what I listen to in the car with my kids. My kids grew up listening to Whiskey Brothers and all sorts of podcasts.
That's true.
Because that's my only time to listen to them in the car. Yeah. I'm sure most of you are the same way, or headphones at work.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I'm assuming no one listens to us with their desktop speakers on at work, unless you like to work at home. And if you do, then you're probably the boss and don't give a fuck.
You don't know. They could like listen on their lunch break, babe.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I think we're already coming up on the hour. I'm still doing the job. Finally started taking calls.
So how is that like really taking calls? Like
I want to go back to hearing people need help logging in.
That bad?
Well, here's the thing. So what has shown now that I'm now taking phone calls, trying to offer customer service for this unknown company in Canada, that in between all the logging in stuff, they were supposed to actually teach us some stuff, and that didn't happen. So I'm basically learning everything about this job the hard way, which is fine. You know, it's just the bad part is that they're live calls. Like it's not simulated. There's no like call script. Like, oh, pretend to do this, and then you have to do this.
Totally
so
what I thought
I'm having to learn the system while I have a real live person. Upset customer. My first call, the person couldn't fucking hear me. So I'm sitting there, my first call, fuck this motherfucker. I'm sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? How about now? Can you hear me? Ma'am, I'm still on the line. Hello?
Oh, shit.
So it's trial by fire.
Oh,
so once I got past the fucking, like, you know what? I'm just gonna look and sound like a dumbass to speak. But hey, they're fucking Canadians. You know, what do I care? I don't know when I'm ever gonna go to Canada. I've never been. I don't know if I ever will go at this point.
Oh, we totally are going to Canada.
To Canada?
At some point. Yes, maybe. For sure.
We'll see. But
babe,
yeah.
I showed you that picture of that restaurant with that really big Southern fried chicken burger and salad. We have to go to Canada for that alone.
No. That wasn't a burger. It wasn't. No.
Babe, there was Southern fried chicken in all of that.
No. No. Listen. Foodies. I love y'all. I fuck with y'all. I like seeing pictures of dope ass food. I like posting pictures of dope ass food. I even, I don't care so much about plating, but I get it. I like it when a presentation.
Oh, it was beautiful.
In my food. But at the end of the day, it's fucking food. Mm-hmm. It's got to be functional. If you put so much shit on your food, a burger should not be half a foot tall.
It's like that big.
Or have a foot tall. That's not a burger. You want to know why it's not a burger? Because you can't pick it up and take a fucking bite out of it. That disqualifies it from a burger.
I mean, you could smush it down.
That is a food sculpture.
It was amazing.
Using burger ingredients. Was there a palm branch in there? Like, what, there was some type of, like, I'm not even sure everything on there was edible. I think there was a lot of garnishes on there.
No, babe.
It looked like there was like a fern coming out.
Babe.
No, I'm not. There's no joke here.
No, it looked good. It looked beautiful, and it looked almost too good to eat. Like, it was beautiful.
No, it looked like you couldn't eat it.
Well, she did.
Not even
she
with
said
a fork
it was
and a knife.
amazing.
Okay, well, I don't know how. I wish you would have posted a video instead of a picture. Because she posted a 10-minute YouTube video on how to eat that fucking sandwich. If you have to deconstruct your food after you take a picture of it, it wasn't worth the fucking picture.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I'm going to start referring to nachos as deconstructed tacos.
Sure. That's what I do for Lindsay when we have taco night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just eats nachos. We eat tacos. She eats nachos.
Uh-huh.
That's what it is. All right, let's talk. Let's do Netflix and chat, and let's
Okay.
get the heck out of here because it's a late night.
All right.
All right, we watched Extraction.
Yes.
You thought we were going to talk about that other shit.
I don't know what we were going to talk
We've
about.
just been watching mind-numbing television.
Yeah, we have. No, Extraction.
We finally
with
watched
Chris
Extraction. We're
Hemsworth.
late to the party.
With my honey.
Did it get overhyped? I don't think it did.
No.
I think because I saw a lot of people liking it, but I didn't see a whole bunch of buzz about it. I thought it was a really good movie.
Mhm.
Thought it had some really good shots in it. It's a good action film. Shoot 'em up, bang bang.
Mhm.
Clear cut. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy?
Mhm.
It's just very American film.
It's just straight shoot.
Just straight to the point. It is
Yeah.
what it gets. All right.
Yeah. And it was fantastic.
It was good. It was good. It was
Yes.
entertaining. It was the chases, the shots were all good. The fighting was great.
Mhm.
Hemsworth did a good job. He was likable as the main character.
Mhm.
I've never seen a action movie, do so many things right,
Mhm.
only to literally fuck it up in the last 5 seconds of the film.
But don't give any spoilers. But yes.
I'm gonna say that if you would just cut off the last
Yes.
15 or 20 seconds of the
It
film,
would have been perfection.
it would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what possessed them,
Mm-hmm.
but it took it from a 4+
Yes.
star to me to a 3.75.
I agree. It was so disheartening.
So if you want, what you could do is watch the movie.
Mm-hmm. And then stop.
And right when you tell yourself, man, that was a great movie,
Just turn it off.
shut it off. And don't watch it after that.
Because you will be right. That was a great movie to that point.
And then maybe wait a month. And then go back and open it back up in your Netflix and it'll be in the exact same spot. And watch it. Because then it'll be and then just forget it. Just act like it was the deleted scene on the DVD. Tell yourself that. But the movie ended here and this was an alternate ending. Because that's what it should have been.
Yes.
Should have been an alternate ending on the DVD.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Some borderline Ocean's 11 shit.
Yeah, it was,
That just completely almost undid everything that they had done up to that point.
right. 100%. You are absolutely right.
It was basically you made a beautiful gourmet dinner
Mhm.
and then you just took a pound of the cheapest, nastiest fucking just shredded cheese, pre-shredded cheese, not fresh, and just fucking threw that shit on top. You put ketchup on fucking Wagyu beef. All right.
Yes.
Is what they did.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, 3.75. What was yours again?
Saint.
3.75. Watch it. Cut it off at the end. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. It's a late night, and y'all have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again real soon. Until then, one love.